What's going on, YouTube? Rdap Dan here, Federal Prison Time Consulting. Hope you guys are all having an amazing Tuesday. Today, we're going to be talking a little bit about Jenna Ryan as she gets ready to self-surrender to Bryan, Texas, for her 60 days with her part in the Capitol riots. And joining us, we have a pretty awesome gentleman who I got an opportunity of meeting a few weeks back in Tampa, Josh from DOCTV813. So Josh is joining us live. Everybody give a big warm welcome to Josh. How you doing today, Josh?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me on. This lady seems crazy, so I think we're going to have an all right time talking about this.
I think so. We're going to give everybody a few minutes to join in here. We got Kevin. Kevin, join us live. Kevin's always number one. What's going on, Kevin? Thanks for popping on. And Josh, if you haven't been over to Josh's channel, guys, there's a link in the description of the video. Also, you can hop over to Josh's channel. It's DOCTV813. We can go ahead and pop you on there. There's Josh's awesome channel there. So you guys make sure you go ahead and check that out. Subscribe to his channel, like his channel, all that good stuff. Show some love to Josh. Josh also has an Instagram page, which you guys can go check out. It's all under DOCTV813. So go ahead and pop over to Josh's Instagram. He does a lot of prison stories. Josh did time in prison himself, which we'll probably do another interview in maybe another week or so after Christmas about Josh's story. I think, Josh, we plan on having me come on your channel, Thursday, right? We're going to do something on Thursday?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we're going to do your story, probably a couple parts, because I'm sure you got a pretty long story. Yeah, man. So that should be up next week once we do that Thursday.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah. What's up, Kevin? We're just handling
keep them entertained for a minute, Josh.
Yeah, we're just handling technology difficulties, man. The stuff's not easy learning all this, so he's gonna just change the battery on his camera. And if you're in the live, hit comment, man. Where are you guys from? Let us know what state you guys are in. Yeah, IFI motivation. What's up, Adam? Adam in the house. Bonnie D, good morning. Good morning.
Well, that was fun.
Right, there we go. Hey, it happens, man. I've had that happen too.
I forgot to plug in the camera.
Yeah. Oh, the power cord?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there, done that.
So the struggle is real this morning. So it always happens as you're going live.
Yep. Bonnie, Boston, Massachusetts. Okay. Just flew over that. Okay. Yeah. Kevin, I'm in Tampa. So yeah, I go to Clearwater a lot, man. I used to go to Shepherd's in Clearwater Beach.
Okay. We're going to let you hang on this for a minute, Josh.
All right.
Why fix this screen?
Yeah, we're just trying to figure this out real quick, and then we're going to go ahead and get into it. So I guess we're going to be discussing the lady that stormed the Capitol. Apparently she has to go turn herself in, I think, to do 60 days. And this lady, wait till you hear what comes out of this lady's mouth. Like, she is definitely like a bipolar Karen. Tamara, NC, okay, I see you. Let's see. Yes, Boston, a nice place to visit, but you don't want to live here. Okay. Take duly noted. Why? What's going on in Boston that makes you not want to live there? There we go.
Well, that was fun. we were on here for a good 30 minutes testing everything and not one issue. The minute we go live, and I knew to plug in the camera, just forgot. Here I am, Juan. Sorry about that. Apologize, everybody. All right, we got a few people in the room, so we're going to kind of jump into these topics here today. And it's, as you guys may be aware of, we're going to be talking about Jenna Ryan, because she's got quite a story. And I kind of want to start it off. And I want to get your reaction on this, Josh. So just to kind of fill everybody in who doesn't know who Jenna Ryan is, Jenna Ryan sent me an email. This is how it all started, because I really didn't even know much about it. I mean, everybody follows the Capitol riots. or at least has heard of the Capitol riots that happened January 6th last year. And I received an email from Jenna on November 11th. So I'll share the email here.
How did that start? Like, how did she even know your email and send it to you?
She found me on YouTube. So she has, she publicly talked about how she was searching on YouTube, looking up prison consultants, what to expect going to prison. And we're going to talk about that a little bit. But here is the original email from Jenna. I found your channel on YouTube. I was recently sentenced to 2 months of federal prison on a misdemeanor. I was at the Capitol riots and I walked in and out of the building for 2 minutes and did nothing, but pled guilty to get out of the situation because I have a book deal and several defamation lawsuits to file. Anyway, the judge gave me 2 months prison, not for the crime, but because I made myself the center of the riot, which I did not, but the media did, which we're going to stop and talk about that for a second. So when Jenna says that she didn't make herself, where she didn't bring the attention to herself, she said that it was the media that did this to her. It's interesting because the problem is, even after she got arrested, she started going on social media. She started really talking about it. And there's interviews where she walks out of like the courthouse and her attorney doesn't want to say anything, doesn't want to give any comment. And she just couldn't help herself. She started talking. So when she reached out to me, like many criminal defendants reach out and they want help. They want to kind of better their situation. But seemed like there was this inability to take any responsibility for what she did. Now, was it the end of the world what she did? No, it was a misdemeanor. She went into the Capitol. She didn't physically create any violence, but she had a problem even kind of admitting guilt that she did anything wrong at all. And on TikTok, it's interesting what she talks about, what she's doing to get ready to go to prison. And Josh, so I'm going to have you watch this and kind of give me your feedback on this, what you think.
All right.
All right. So we're going to watch a specific video here.
Okay. So here's the deal. I am going to prison in 3 weeks. At the first week in January, I have to report to prison. And the only thing that I can see that's good about having to go to prison is that I'm going to be able to work out a lot and do a lot of yoga and detox. And also I can't eat because the food is awful and there's just no food. So hopefully they have like some protein shakes and some protein bars, I think, because you don't want to eat like green bologna. That's what they have to eat. So I'm going to end up losing weight in prison. Everyone's telling me that I'll lose weight. So hopefully I'll finally get down to my ideal weight because I won't be able to drink. I won't be able to eat. I won't be able to eat like stupid stuff like chips and.
All right. So when you hear that, Josh, because you did state time, correct?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So I don't know about in state, but in feds, food's not bad. But tell me a little bit about when you see that, if you were, let's say, the captain or lieutenant or the warden of Bryan, Texas, the female federal camp she's going to, and she's kind of bragging about coming there, she's going to be doing yoga and getting in shape and all these things. What's your take on seeing something like that?
Well, I feel like with her doing what she's doing, they're going to look at that and they're going to make her time hard because they're going to give her a reality check, and she's not going to lose weight. She's going to probably gain weight because of how they cook everything in there with starches and all that. I don't think she realizes like what she's about to walk into. I don't know about the place she's going to. Is that place in Texas like known for any, like, is it dangerous or is it a pretty sweet camp?
It's a pretty sweet camp, but I mean, most federal prison camps, I use the word sweet loosely, meaning that they're not violent, is really not a lot to worry about. There actually is things like yoga going on, but with COVID and all of the situations, she actually spoke to another guy, another consultant in the industry, who told her that they may actually put her in solitary confinement the entire time because of her publicity, her openly talking about everything. And at first I was kind of, I didn't think so. I thought, no, you'll be in general public. But now seeing, and you're just interviewing, I'll show you more stuff on TikTok where she's just doing interview after interview. I have a feeling when she gets there that they are going to put her in lockdown. I think she's going to be in solitary confinement the entire time.
Yeah, that could be, man. I didn't even really think about that, but that's even like celebrities that go, and she's, I mean, does she have a following? Like, are people actually watching her?
So on TikTok, she's got a following of here. Let's see. So on here, she has about 6,000 followers on TikTok. So I don't think her following is as big as she would like it to be. I think some of the problems. I mean, she said some pretty wild things, bro. Like she has openly said she's not going to go to jail because she's white, and she's got there's a quote here of her definitely not going to jail. Here, let me highlight this so y'all can see it. This is I'm actually going to zoom in on this so you can make it a little bit bigger. But she says, definitely not going to jail. Sorry, I have blonde hair, white skin, a great job, a great future, and I'm not going to jail. Sorry to rain on your hater parade. I did nothing wrong. And this has a lot to do with why the judge ended up sentencing her to prison, which I don't necessarily agree that the judge sentenced her to prison because of things she said. But on the flip side, I get it, because you have to make, you've got somebody that's openly talking so much about a case. And how do you deter other people from doing illicit and illegal activities? You have to make an example out of somebody that just doesn't know to sometimes, shut the F up when you're already ahead.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, she kind of didn't she say she had a detox? She said she was going to lose weight because she couldn't drink. So it doesn't sound like she's playing with a full deck. And then you put alcohol on top of that. That's a recipe for disaster.
She did say during some of our conversation that that she was drunk when she stormed the Capitol. Now, apparently they flew on a private plane, a private jet that was, I don't know if it was paid for by Trump or whatever. They flew on a private jet. Look, I voted for Trump. I'll openly say I voted for Trump. And I don't think Trump ever intended for people to storm the Capitol. When he said, come to the Capitol and protest, I think in at least what I took from that is come outside in front behind the fence and show your support, protest for something that was done unjust. Individuals took it among themselves. And I do believe the left kind of led this a little bit and kind of pushed into this. So to her defense, I do think she made a very, very seemingly unimportant decision at the time where you walked into a building that you're not invited to. That's where she committed the crime. But there was quite a bit of violence that took place there that day. Like Tamara said, peacefully protest, and the protests weren't peaceful. What would you do if you were in a situation like this, Josh, and you got in trouble for something that maybe you didn't think that you did wrong? Would you be on the internet talking about it before sentencing, kind of putting yourself out there?
No. I mean, I've never really talked about any cases, and there's stuff like I've been arrested for that, they couldn't prove, but I knew I did it. So when you did something, you have to take accountability. And like you said, this lady doesn't even seem to have that trait, like to be able to do that. She seems like it's all a big joke.
Yeah, I don't think she was taking it very serious until the judge kind of sentenced her. And, we can actually pull up here. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Pacer, but we can actually log in. We can look at what her judgment was. Now, PayPal. So she was booted off of PayPal because she was taking donations to help with her legal fees, which I believe PayPal did allow that. But then she started posting things. You can read this over here on the right. She goes, take a secret. I really don't need donations. I was just giving people the opportunity to contribute and be blessed by their giving. Whoever donates to me is going to be blessed beyond measure. These are the kind of things that she was posting on Twitter. And then, of course, PayPal not demonetized her, took her off so she could no longer use PayPal. I just don't understand why you would tweet something like this, and we all remember one of Trump's biggest problems is he couldn't stop tweeting. The guy was usually right in a lot of his thoughts, but he would tweet everything, which kind of would get turned around. And Jenna just kept tweeting and kept going and making this far worse for herself than it needed to be. When she was talking about reaching out to prison consultants and looking at these videos, I really thought we were supposed to do a video. We were all set to do a video, and it was going to be on accountability, taking responsibility. And I think she fought so much with being able to own what she did that the day before she basically said, I can't do this video. We're going in two different directions. It was kind of disheartening because most of our clients finally come to the light and realize if they could do things over again, that they would do it differently. And this is a completely different experience. You know, she's going for 60 days, which isn't the end of the world. The people that you saw, because where did you do your time, Josh?
Florida Department of Corrections, two state bids.
2 state bids.
Yep.
And let's see, everyone is being put out in solitary. So we got Tamar on here. Everybody's so they're putting, so they call it the J6. These are all individuals that got hit up on the Capitol riots the day that they protested. So far all the individuals that are going in, it looks like they've been put into solitary confinement. So I don't think Jenna's going to be doing any yoga or working out. And in solitary confinement, you're real limited to even what you can do with commissary. Usually in solitary confinement, it's like, you know, your basic necessities, your stamps, you know, maybe some hygiene products, but you're not eating the same as you would. What was commissary like? Go ahead.
How did she get a misdemeanor and get sentenced to federal prison? I thought you had to have a felony to do that.
No, honestly, I don't think the judge would have sentenced her at all if she just would have just kind of stayed quiet and stopped making such a big scene about everything. She made it about herself. She put herself in the media spotlight. But yeah, I've seen a few individuals get sentenced for misdemeanors. Shelly, my girlfriend, who went to prison with me, hers was a misdemeanor that she got hit on, and they gave her 13 months for hers. But it's not typical. It's not common. And it seems ridiculous to go to prison on a misdemeanor. So I'm sure that's where she's battling with this. But she just keeps going with, you know, if you go back to her.
It almost seems like she's trying to do this to get famous.
I think so, because just a few days ago, you know, she had you can see here she's got film crews outside at her house, and these are all videos that she's making.
Wow. So that's all her stuff, or is she being interviewed?
No, they're coming out and interviewing her. But when you read all of the content that comes out, most of it is not done in a good light for her. Most of it's done kind of like in a mockery of her. There's an interview here, or not an interview, where the news talks about her. And let's see here. We got so many monitors going here at the same time. So this is where she talks about preparing, and it's probably going to make us watch a little commercial real quick.
Remember that feeling? Waking up to find snow on the ground and school canceled.
It's such a.
This is a place where that feeling.
They get you. All social media gets you. Anytime you want to watch a video, you got to watch a damn commercial first.
With skiing, snowboarding, and
All right,
here we go.
Starts with a Texas woman sentenced to 2 months in jail for her role in the Capitol riot. That woman is making wild and a lot of inaccurate claims in an interview with our sister station in Dallas. Thank you for being here with us. I'm Lorenzo Hall.
And I'm Larry Miller. She compared police defending the Capitol on January the 6th to Walmart greeters. And she also said she's preparing for her prison sentence by watching YouTube videos about serving time behind bars. Chief investigative reporter Eric Flack broke down Jenna Ryan's claims for us. He's also here to correct the record. Flack, we understand that the judge told this woman that he was basically sentencing her to prison because of the things that she was saying on social media after her arrest. But as we've seen right now, she's still talking.
Larry, Jenna Ryan likes to talk. That's really all I can say about that. This new interview, Ryan is even contradicting statements she made to us just last week after being sentenced to prison time.
I'm watching all the YouTube videos on how prison is, how to go to prison, what to do.
In a new interview with WUSA 9's sister station, WFAA in Dallas,
I just
Ryan
don't know
seemed
what she was expecting to be the outcome from this. I know she's expecting like book deals. I just can't imagine anybody that would be able to put out a book that's going to do anything you know, maybe she'll find a way to monetize off this. If she does, good for her, I guess. I mean, that's kind of why I'm doing a YouTube channel, right?
Yeah. Well, she's not playing with a full deck, man. She may get popular for like this year, and before she goes, when she gets out, they'll probably do a couple more interviews, but I think she's gonna die out, man. Honestly, like you'll never hear about her again.
I just don't see how this could be maintained. It's going to get swept under the rug. There's going to be new news, and right now, I think it's kind of like the just watching the hot mess kind of unfold. I believe she's her own worst nightmare in this process.
Yeah, she's just digging her hole deeper, man. Eventually, she's gonna do something stupid and not think about it, and they're really gonna give her some time, because you can't mock the federal government. That just doesn't work.
Now, if she would have waited until she served her time, she finished up probation, and then she wanted to come tell her story about, you know, what she did or what she didn't do, because, you know, showing up to the Capitol, you know, now there's another guy that just got sentenced to 5 years. So, I mean, clearly being sentenced from 60 days to 5 years, that's a huge disparity there in what the other person must have done. I don't think the judge thinks that she's a horrible person, but I do think that the fact that she put herself in the spotlight and she made herself the face of all of this atrocity that went on, I think that was why the judge gave her the time. He's like, look, if you want to make yourself the poster child and you want to put yourself into this corner, and now everyone's watching, wondering what the court system is going to do to you, you kind of forced my hand to send you to prison, because how else are they supposed to send any type of a ripple through the system saying, hey, you can't just come in and storm a building because you're not happy with an outcome. It made the entire right side of the political party look like, you know, nut jobs, when it was just a few of them that demonstrated this kind of a goofy mentality.
But that's usually how it goes, man. A couple people always ruin it for the rest, and that's kind of what they did with that.
And, you know, I really hesitated on doing these videos because, you know, part of me says it kind of sucks for her. This is where she's going. You know, she's going to be going she's going to be going to Bryan, Texas, which we'll pull up over here. Here it is. So this is where she's going. I mean, it doesn't look bad for sure if you look at it from the outside in.
It's like it looks like a house.
Josh, I wish I could have gone there.
Yeah, bro. The state was way worse than that.
Now, I'm curious because a lot of prison camps don't have they don't have what's called the SHU, special housing unit, solitary confinement at the actual camp. Sometimes they'll either send you to and Bryan is only a camp, meaning some prisons have, you know, like a satellite camp or an adjacent camp, part of a medium or a low security prison. Bryan is a standalone prison camp. So a lot of these standalone prison camps, solitary confinement, they actually bring you back to a county jail. You do your solitary confinement in a county jail.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that would be interesting to see. I hope she doesn't. I don't want to see her go sit in county jail for 60 days because she definitely won't be doing any yoga. And then she will be eating the green bologna sandwiches she was afraid of that you get in county. Yep. Do you remember county jail food?
Oh my gosh. Do I? Yeah, I definitely do. It's all starch, man. Like it's all carbs, and the meat's not even real. In state, they give you what's called PVT, which is like all soy-based meat. It looks like dog food when it comes on the tray.
Isn't that kind of like what a Beyond Burger is now? We somehow found a way to market that to regular people.
I know, right? Yeah, it's. I mean, jail in the county I went to was worse than the prison food. So, I mean, and that's because all they do is slop, you know, like everything. I call it everything must go. So everything that's about to be out of date in the jail kitchen, throw it in there, and that's what you're eating.
I've had some pretty horrible county jail food. I remember, I don't know if it was meatloaf or a meat patty or what it was supposed to be, but it was this about the size of a hockey puck. And it was it looked like almost it had air in the middle because it kind of bowed up in the middle.
Yeah.
I remember when I bit into it, this air released into my mouth, and it was equivalent to like if somebody were to burp into your mouth, and I was so grossed out by
man.
it. Yeah, I couldn't eat it. And sure enough, somebody right next to me was willing to take that tray right off of my plate. They're like, "Hey, if you're not gonna eat that, pass it down here." And I was like, "Dude, there's like gas bubble inside this thing. You sure you want it?" And these guys have been locked down so long, they're like, "Pass it down."
Yeah, we have that in our county jail. What those guys do in the county that I went to jail in was there's like 2 of them in every dorm. They stand over near the trash can, because in county, when you get done with your tray, whatever's left, you got to dump it in before you put it on the tray cart. And they would just take people's trays and eat right off their tray before, like if someone else didn't want it. And we call them seagulls. Yeah. Yeah, they're always like
Florida seagull coming down and getting your food, huh?
Yep.
I had no problem when I was in county waiting, because I knew I was only going to be there for a minute waiting to bond out or whatever. I would usually just give my trays away. I'd give a whole tray away for like just, a pack of soup or something, because I wasn't going to be there. I wasn't really worried about eating. But when I was there for a period of time, you start to really just be grateful for you'll eat stuff that you didn't imagine you would eat before. And it becomes very, like, looking back, it's like, fuck, because you're a pretty stout dude, bro. So I imagine like you must be eating pretty good now. You're not surviving on prison food any longer.
No, man, definitely not. I try not to eat anything that reminds me of prison, but yeah, when you went in and gave your tray away, man, they must have loved you, because they love getting food from people.
Yeah, well, I would say, hey, I got a tray for soup. I wasn't just, giving it away blindly. I would ask for something like a soup.
Yeah, so you
can kind of mix it up, eat something that at least tasted good. But I imagine you get sick of soup too. In the federal side, commissary is pretty evolved. It was almost similar to like I don't know, 7-Eleven, or kind of a miniature Walmart. There are a lot of stuff you could get on there. They actually had protein bars. It was funny that she said that. They didn't have protein shakes, but guys would make their own protein shakes. They would chew up a protein bar, like blend it in their mouth, and then spit it into a coffee or something and mix it up.
Damn, that's savage stuff right there.
Yeah. But the food wasn't horrible. Even the food they served you in the chow hall in the feds was I heard compared. I mean, the funding in the feds is, there's a lot more funding in the Fed than most states. Some states have decent funding depending on the wealth of the state, but you did Florida State, which I heard doesn't spend much money on funding at all when it comes to food.
No, when you pull up to the prison, and most prisons in Florida, when you pull up, you think it's abandoned. That's how bad the buildings, like leaking in the roof, no AC all year. And it looks like a refugee camp when you walk into the dorm, man. There's like clothes hanging everywhere. It's disgusting. Like it's bad in Florida.
When did you come home?
2014.
Okay, so you've been home a little while. Are you still? So you're off of everything. You're not on any type of paper or any supervision.
No,
free and clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool getting to meet you for a few minutes. What's that? Sorry, we're both talking.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I got out 2014 and been out since then, man. I don't plan on going back.
Have you been in the Tampa area the whole time?
Yeah, I was born in Tampa, and then I moved like 20 minutes away, did that for a couple of years, and now I live back in Tampa.
Yeah, you guys live over. I got to meet you briefly when I came down to meet Matt Cox. You guys were over there hanging out, and I see that you do a lot of videos with Matt. Some of you guys live pretty close to each other, so that's super convenient having another YouTuber so close in the area, and you guys are both pretty active.
Yeah. We live like 30 minutes away, and we try to, I do episodes on his channel, and he's doing something now with a house called The Incubator, which a couple other YouTubers are going to move in. And it's just really going to be content like 24/7. So, and he has a good story. So it's always good to hear some of his stuff.
Matt's a wild individual. I love listening. The guy can tell stories like no other. That's for sure.
Oh yeah. He's definitely good at that. Yeah. He's actually coming over tonight.
Oh,
remember that feeling?
Something's playing here. I don't know what that is.
Snow on the ground and
Jenna Ryan again. She just starts playing automatically there. I just posted in the live stream there, guys, another link to Josh's channel. If you guys want to go check him out, make sure you hop over and subscribe and show your appreciation over there, because his channel is growing fast. He's already at, he's at 16,000 subscribers. And your YouTube channel is how old, Josh?
I've had it for a year and like a month, I think.
A year and a month. And you've got a lot of videos on there. You did one an hour ago, 4 days ago. Yeah. And your videos are, several thousand views. You got a lot of videos on there with Matt Cox. So yeah, man, it's good to see somebody else out there, taking something that kind of, as you see at the times, like the worst thing that could ever happen, and you've turned it around and you made success out of a mess. So I appreciate you on that and give you big kudos.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. It wasn't easy. It's still not easy, day by day, but yeah. So I did the YouTube channel. I interview people. Matt Cox is actually coming over tonight. We're going to do a couple episodes, but I drop content, usually daily, if not every other day. And I have a lot of good stories with people, I interview. They have amazing stories. Most of them had turned their life around. So that's why I bring them on, because I want people, that are getting out of prison with nobody and nothing to do, no resources. That we've kind of all been there. It's, everybody's story is a little bit different, but there's hope, man. Like if me and you can do it, who would have ever thought we'd be sitting on YouTube talking about, this stuff? But it's just crazy how doors get open, man. And then you can, capitalize on that.
That's what I try to tell people is, you've really just got to dig down deep. And if you continue to do the right thing for the right reasons, usually things will kind of fall into place for you. And that was like the interview we did. I did an interview last night with one of my clients, Brad, who's getting ready to get sentenced, and he's looking at like 15 years. As a white collar offender who had a drug crime, and he feels like his life is over right now, but we don't know what doors are going to be open down the road inadvertently from the mistakes that we make today. If we can choose to kind of change our behaviors, change our habits, we're all going to make mistakes, and we're going to have little fallbacks and trips and relapses here and there, but it's kind of what we do next. You get back up, you take a step backwards, 2 steps forward. And I think you're doing amazing things with your YouTube channel. And I can only imagine, as you do more and more interviews, not just your YouTube channel growing, but the type of messages you can share, the people you can reach through this audience. I think you've got an amazing ability, an amazing opportunity in front of you, my man.
I appreciate that. Yeah. And I hope that, that it all works out like that and everything's good, man. So yeah, one day at a time, definitely though.
That's it right there. Well, Matt, I appreciate you coming on here and doing this video. It was just, I wanted to do a quick one on Jenna here. She gets ready to, I think she surrenders to Bryan, Texas next week, or right after Christmas, like January 4th or January 6th. So we'll see where she ends up. We'll see if she ends up in the solitary confinement. There's going to be stories on that. So we'll be following that story. Maybe I'll bring Matt back on and we'll do an update on there to give some feedback. And then Thursday, I'll be joining Matt. I don't think that's going to be a live video, right? We're going to record that one.
Yeah, I'm going to record it, edit it. So there'll be probably 2 parts. I'll be dropping it on my channel, probably the beginning of next week. So make sure you guys, subscribe so you can catch that interview.
There's a link in the description of the video to Josh's channel, Josh's Instagram, and got a lot of love out here. We got North Cal. Josh is the man. So we got some of your subscribers are over here watching you right now, my man.
All right, man. I appreciate you having me on, and salute to North Cal.
Absolutely. All right, guys. I'm Rdap Dan, People Loving People, Communities Method, one day at a time. Thank you again, Josh. Everybody, I'll see you soon. I will be back next week with a new video. Love you all. Peace.
All right.